scheming on God. Looking like I still do fraud. Flying private jet with the rod. This that Z shit, this that Z shit.
Hey guys, welcome back to You Can't Sip With Us. We're back with another episode. You already know. I'm Z, your hostess. And as you can tell by today's title, we're going to be talking about either being ghosted or being the ghoster. So we're going to see which one we are at the end of the day. But let's go ahead and get into the first thing that we always do, which is our mindful moments. And to be honest, y'all, my mindful moment is I finally get a little break from work. So I'm getting this work done, and we're gonna hurry up and get these videos rolled out and uploaded so you guys can enjoy them. Of course, I am getting a little over like some allergies, some congestion, stuff like that. So my voice does sound a little funny, but it'll be all right. So as you guys already know, after the mindful moments, we always do drink of the week. And you wish you could see, but the whipped cream is starting to melt. I'm trying to hurry up and get this intro done. But that is going to be a caramel pumpkin pie martini. And you don't have to drink it with a straw because it's a martini. But I have on lip gloss and I always drink with a straw, as y'all already know. So we just go ahead and put a straw up in there. But yeah, a caramel pumpkin pie martini. Let's try it. Y'all, I'm not one who does cream drinks at all. Like, I don't like nothing about no cream drink. But this one right here, oh yeah, it's coming home with me. It literally tastes like eggnog. And then we got the caramel apple on the side for the rims. Yeah, I did my big one on this. This is probably my favorite one so far. So far in this season. Let's not drink it all because I almost did. All right, y'all. So y'all already know after we do our mindful moments and the drink of the week, we just go ahead and get right into our questions for today's episode. So let's go ahead and get into it and let's see what we talking about. So let's start it off. It says some people get ghosted just because men can't afford them. Do you agree or disagree? Me personally, I agree because it happened to me before. Like I experienced that, I guess you could say. Um, I guess I was ghosted and then I guess I was ghosted and then like a few months later the man came back and then he was trying to like talk to me or whatever and I was like, what the fuck? Like did you forget that you stopped talking to me? Like what is going on? So he basically was just like, oh, that was just a really bad time for me. I found out like I couldn't basically afford you was the moral of his story is basically what he said. And I was just like, oh, I mean, I guess, but I would have just preferred them to have said that rather than just ghosted me. I do agree with that statement. Y'all let me know what y'all think on that. But yes, if you are not financially stable, do not be dating nobody. Nobody. Date yourself, okay? Date your job. That's what you need to go do. What's the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear the word ghosted? The first thing that comes to my mind is automatically somebody done left somebody, just fell off the face of the earth. That's the first thing that pops to my mind. Fell off the face of the earth, incommunicado, whatever y'all want to call that. But yeah, just not responding to nobody. That's the first thing. It says, have you ever been ghosted and how did you find out? Of course, I feel like everybody has been ghosted at least once in their life. How did I find out? I mean, how does everybody find out? I guess they just never respond. I guess when I realized maybe I was ghosted, maybe like a few days. I don't know. I think it was like probably 3 days. After that, I was just like, oh, okay. Because I'm not the type of person that's just going to keep texting you. I may text you like once a day, twice a day. And then if I have to text you like 3 times in a day, that third text on that third day would be like, all right, this your final communication, nigga. Like after this, I'm not gonna be reaching out no more. So yeah, I like that third day. It don't take that long. It was probably day one, I was like, that's weird. Day two, I was like, oh, something must be wrong. Then day three, I was like, all right. But yeah, day four, I didn't too much really care. I was just like, it is what it is, obviously. So there was that. It says, what's the worst ghosting experience that you either had or that you've heard of? I mean, I've heard of some wild ones, but then I put it into the Reddit portion of the episode. So we'll go, I guess, with one of mine. It's not crazy or nothing. I ghosted a man because he asked me if I would rim him or if I was into like rimming. And I was like, I don't know what that is. And he was just like, Google it. And then once I Googled it and figured out what the fuck that was, y'all, immediately I just stopped responding. I stopped responding. I knew something was off by the way, like, he would do certain things, but yeah, that sealed it for me. And I'm just all like, yay, don't mind me. If you're watching this, do not mind me. That's just not my kind of man, okay? I don't want my man to be able to want me to even do none of that. It says, do you think being ghosted hurts more when it's a friend or if it's a relationship? So, which one do you think hurts more? If it's a friend that's ghosting me, it depends on what our friend relationship is because, like me, I can go months without talking to somebody, and then when we do start talking again, it's just like we picked up right back where we left off at. We may be catching up and stuff. I guess it would have to be a close friend that never responded, just ghosted me. Yeah, I would feel some type of way about that rather than a relationship because a relationship, I can get over that. A boy, a situationship, anything like that, I can get over. But a friend, that's actually friend vibes. So yeah, you share a lot more probably with your friend than with the man. So I would feel some type of way for the friend. Y'all let me know what y'all think. Write that down below. Would you be more upset if it was your friend who ghosted you or a situationship, man, relationship, whatever you want to call it, ghosted you? Y'all let me know. When is ghosting somebody okay? What kind of a situation is okay for ghosting somebody? I say anything toxic. If you see some red flags that you know are clear as day red flags, like fucking Stevie Wonder could see that that's a red flag, immediately ghost that man, change your name, block him on everything immediately. Like if he's arguing with females, block. If he's certain mannerisms, y'all block. Okay. Like y'all needs to get it together. That is okay to block somebody with no explanation. I feel like that would be okay. Or any safety reason or anything like that. Like if you fear for your life. For sure. Make that your first and last encounter with that person. Okay. So this one says, we're going to be taking some accountability in this one. It says, instead of ghosting somebody, how can you tell somebody that you're really not feeling them without hurting their feelings? So in this today's world, y'all have to be gentle because everybody's all sensitive. But to be honest, forward and to the point, straightforward and to the point is going to be your best option. If you got this girl or you got this boy, you went on a date or two or something, and it's just like toxic situations, they always put you into some shit, or they're like abusing you, however way, or like I said, you're just not feeling them anymore. Whatever, you could be in a relationship and you just wake up one day and you just like, I don't like this person no more. It happens. So it's just like, if that's what it is, instead of cheating, instead of just like lying to their face, instead of going about it, hurting your energy and hurting yourself, tell them, like, hey, I just don't feel it no more. Maybe you are that person that just woke up one day and is just like, yeah, I just woke up one day and I'm just not feeling it no more. I don't see the point in continue being around you. Not like, it depends on the context, but like I don't see the point in being around you. I don't see the point in dating anymore. I don't see the point in whatever the situation is. Say you don't see the point in that no more, and this is how you feel. Now, don't say that, and then they be begging, crying, asking all these questions or whatever. You be trying to go back and forth, or you trying to go back on your word. You needs to go ahead and stay 10 toes on what you said. But yeah, so go ahead, Tell them how you feel and leave it at that. They have questions, you can answer those questions to the best of your abilities. But if y'all just going around in circles, then hey, I done answered your question 10,000 ways. I'm going to go about my day. You have a blessed day on your own. Okay? That's how you got to do with these people. What if someone ghosted you and you found out later that they were in a relationship? So this has never happened to me, so technically I can't really speak on it. But if it was to happen to me, I mean, what can you do? What you gonna do? You want me to go over to that girl house and be like, hey, we was probably fucking this man at the same time. Like, bitch, I don't too much give a fuck. I would just sit there and be like, okay, they always come back. That's what they don't tell you. They always come back. So it's just like they can go be in a relationship. Whoever, you know what I'm saying, can go be in a relationship, y'all, they gonna always come back, okay? They wanted you once, they will want you again. Trust. Well, it depends on how good your game is, but they will always come back. Okay. So yeah, I'm not tripping off of that. I'll just probably sit there and laugh. I'm like, wow, laugh. And do my little Twitter stalking, Instagram stalking, whatever kind of stalking that I needs to do, maybe, depending on if I really want to or not. And going about my day. Like that's not stopping what the fuck I got going on. So yeah, I really too much wouldn't care. I'll just be like, wow, you was on some weird shit. But then if you try to come back, that's just gonna make me assume and believe that you're gonna always be on weird shit. And yeah, I'm cool off that. So you ruined your own chance again. This one says, if you were ghosted, would you ever reach out? I'm assuming that this is I guess months, weeks. I don't really know what the timeline is on this, but I'm assuming you already know that you're ghosted. It has to have be like some no communication in between there. So me personally, no. No, no, I wouldn't. I don't too much really care for it. Like I said, if you ghosted me, especially, or if I ghosted you, why would I come back? That's just awkward and weird. I don't like awkwardness, so yeah, I wouldn't do no shit like that. But hopefully, y'all not doing that either. If you are, to each his own. That's how you want to live your life, boo. Can't blame you. It says, what if the person who ghosted you comes back out of nowhere? Like I said, they always come back. To be honest, I mean, if I really just wanted to know, I'd be like, yeah, where you been or whatever that excuse is, if it is an excuse, if not, I really too much don't care because what do you want? Because now I'm gonna be looking at you like, what do you want? So me personally, if they come back out of nowhere, you come back out of nowhere, shit. What do you want? Is what you're gonna be met with. So if you ghost, just leave that person alone for the rest of your life. I don't understand. Don't come back. How many days of no contact is considered being ghosted? Me personally, like I said earlier, you got about a good 3 days of not hitting me back, and then I'm gonna assume that I've been ghosted. I'm gonna assume I've been ghosted or you're dead, is what I'm going to assume. But as far as like, I guess technical, if you ain't responded to me in about a week, then yeah, that would be like a ghost. Or if I haven't responded to you in about a week, that's a ghost. Like it's like a yeah, see ya, holla. It's not gonna work out. I say about a good week. After that, you probably like deleted out the phone or yeah. Cause I'm like, I don't really get ghosted like that. So I don't know. But even if I do ghost somebody, yeah, like after like a week, if I haven't responded to you and like you go down the messages and you're all the way at the bottom, yeah, more than likely your phone or contact information is probably going to be deleted out of my phone. And yeah, so the next time you was to text me, if it's already deleted, I wouldn't know who you are. Like, who is this? It says, do you ghost relationships or is it more like a situationship? I feel like I feel like you would ghost a situationship. I say that because I'm like, if you're in a relationship, how you ghost somebody in a relationship? Because they should know where you stay at, and you should know where they stay at. So I'm pretty sure they would come to your house. So it's like, unless you just literally fall off the face of the earth, I can't see you ghosting anybody in a relationship. What's worse, someone ghosting you or somebody telling you straight up, like, this ain't working? Me personally, somebody ghosted me. Because then, like I said, depending on the person or depending on who it is that's ghosting me, I may be like, oh, dang, like, why'd they ghost me? I may want the answer to her. I may want the answer to that question. But I feel like if they tell me straight up, I'll be a lot better with that. Like anybody, it'll be tell me straight up. I feel like the ghosting is a lot worse. I feel like tell me straight up. I don't care what it is. I say that all the time. I don't care what it is. Tell me what it is, okay? And let me decide on what I want to do. Is ghosting something that we grow out of when we get older? I guess not. I guess not. I do know of an example of somebody who went out on a date with somebody. Um, I think the man was probably like 50 or 60, but went out on a date with somebody, and then that man ghosted the girl. And then, of course, like I said, came back, and yeah. So I guess if you mature, you definitely grow out of ghosting people, but it don't matter the age. There's some very immature, old ass people out here, okay? So, and they probably out there ghosting people, everybody. They just stop talking to people. So it says, have you ever heard of a soft ghosting? I guess a soft ghosting is where people stop communicating with you, but they still follow you on social media and watch all your stuff. I didn't know it was called anything because I just had to a lot of people. I guess, yeah. I now have heard of soft ghosting. I guess there's some people that do that to me too. But to be honest, like I said, it really just do not like if we just stop communicating, we stop communicating. If you still follow me on social media, but you stop texting me, I'll be like, okay, you just want to watch. So we know what that is, right? It's a fan. So I don't really too much care of all of that. Like social media stuff, that shit fake anyway. Why do you think people ghost instead of just being honest? It's just because, like we said earlier, they're very immature. They don't have the maturity to have a conversation with whoever it may be, whether it's a friend, girlfriend, boyfriend, whatever. They don't have the maturity to freaking say how they feel. So they just stop talking to you. Stop talking to somebody. They're like, I ain't gotta talk to them. I ain't gotta talk to them. Okay, but why? So I just feel like it's because of the maturity. Is ghosting always intentional, or does sometimes life just get in the way? To be honest, I feel like ghosting is always intentional. Like if you're ghosting somebody, you're actively not responding, you're actively going out of your way to not see them anymore, however that works. But yeah, that's what you're actively doing. I feel like when life gets in the way and people separate, it's like I had said earlier. If you was to stop talking to some, if I was to stop talking to my friend right now for like 2 months, and then we picked back up in 2 months, it would be as like we left off in as tomorrow. I don't know. Y'all understand what I'm trying to say. So I just feel like that is life just getting in the way. But you always make time for the people that you want to make time for. So, with that being said, like I said, ghosting is always intentional. Is ghosting having a lack of respect towards somebody? I feel like I wouldn't say, I guess, yeah, you can say a lack of respect because it's like you just don't care enough to tell that person like why you're leaving, especially if texts you or they're texting like where you at, why you not responding, and you're just actively not responding back. I feel like yeah, it is a lack of respect because just tell that person what's on your mind. It says, did ghosting ever mess with your self-esteem or self-confidence? To me personally, no. No, I don't feel like ghosting affects my self confidence or self esteem at all. I feel like I said earlier, when you ghost somebody, it's just because you just don't see each other working out anymore. So it's just like, why even respond back to that person, is how I'm seeing it. So it's just all like, that's how I would go about it. And that never just told me. Now, it took me, I guess, until I was older to realize that that meant immaturity. But I never just like, oh, they ghosted me. Now I'm so sad. And now I just want to be depressed. And no, I was never that kind of person. What should you not do when you've been ghosted? So, like I said, me personally, I have a three anything rule. Like you have a 3 strike rule, a 3 day rule. Mine's is you got 3 days. I'll text you that first day. I'm like, okay, we ain't texting all day. So what's going on? You don't respond that day. I'm like, okay. So then I'll text you the next day, like, hey, where you at? What you doing? You don't respond that day. That third day, I'm gonna send you a text message and it's gonna be so spicy. Like, where the hell is you at? If you don't answer, this is gonna happen and da 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 and all this other stuff. That is my 3 day thing. So yeah, after that, then to be honest, I don't care what. Like, I don't care what happens after that. I'm gonna stop texting you. Okay? In my mind, I done blocked you at that point. So that's what I do for that. As far as like ghosted, whatever, and you ghost me, don't respond back to that person. Um, don't hit them up personally. Me, more than 3 days. Like, you will never see me text a nigga on the fourth day. Like, nigga, where is you at? Like, it couldn't be me. Shit, that was me like before 3 days. Now I don't even feel like day one. Like, if you don't respond back to me day one. So yeah, but we're gonna be lenient and we just gonna say 3 days. Never, I guess, stalk them. Don't ever pull up on them. Don't waste your energy on them anymore. Okay? After 3 days, especially after a week, you don't hear nothing for a week, that confirms that you don't need to waste none of your energy on them no more. That's the new rule. What are some ways to get over somebody that you actually liked and they ghosted you? Shit, put them on a block list, girl. Go out with your homegirls, post you a fine ass picture, and get all the love that you gonna get. Y'all be so male centered. Like, who gives a fuck what these niggas think? If a nigga ghosted you, let that nigga ghost you. Maybe he maybe be the one that's in a relationship for real. Or maybe he got a wife at home. Or a baby mama somewhere hidden around the corner or something. I don't know. Maybe just God said that it was not for you, okay? So let that man be. The healthiest way to move on after being ghosted is, like I said, after about a week, go ahead, you can block them or not, however it is. Just don't respond, don't text back, don't do too much, don't go on no stalking rampage. Just move on. Move on to somebody else. Move on to loving yourself. Maybe you should take yourself out on a date if you feel sad or you feel some type of way. Take yourself out. Go out with your homegirls, homeboys, whatever gender you are, whatever friends you got. Go out with them and have a good time. Forget all about that person, and then you'll be all right. Because you're the prize at the end of the day. Do you think being ghosted changes the way that you approach relationships? I feel like it can. Maybe you have like abandonment issues or trust issues, but I feel like you just gotta work through it. You can't allow that to stop you, or you can't allow that from letting you not find your husband, your wife, whatever. You just gotta think. Me personally, I think if I was ghosted or if I had been ghosted, I just say that that person just was not for me. Like, person wasn't for me. It is what it is. No love lost, and I just move on. That's how you go about that. And I also pray all the time that none of my experiences out here turn me bitter towards anything or anybody. So that's another thing too. Do you think ghosting people is more about avoiding people or is it about protecting oneself? I feel like it could be either or. Like I said earlier, there are certain situations that can excuse ghosting and just cutting somebody off. But I feel like most of the time Me personally, I feel like most of the time, ghosting people are just using to avoid the other person. Like I said, it's the maturity thing, or they don't have it, so they just avoid people. It says if I could send a message to anyone that I have ghosted, what would I say? What would I say? I would say to that person that I curved in North Carolina, I really wanted that. I really could have dealt with that, but I just can't do long distance. I mean, yeah, y'all, look, it sounds fun to be going like this back and forth on the planes and shit like that, but ain't nobody got time for that. That is different time zones. I ain't got time for all of that. So it could have worked out, could have did all of that, but I just was like, nah, I'm cool. And then instead of just saying that, y'all, I just stopped talking to that person. So that's my bad. But I'm being accountable now. And yeah, that will be my message to that person. So hopefully they're watching this because I know they still follow me on social media. So hopefully one day they'll see this episode or at least this part. And then when I'll talk about them, maybe no, you can't spin the block. Never mind. I ain't gonna say that last part. But that is all the questions for today's episode. So y'all already know we're gonna go ahead and get into the Reddit portion of this episode. So let's see what it says. Okay, so of course we're talking about ghosting. So it says we were dating for 4 months until she just suddenly cut all contact off with me. The last time I interacted with her, we went to dinner together. That was roughly 3 weeks ago. Yesterday, I found out that she was active on Instagram, so I assumed that she was physically okay and intentionally ghosted me. I am disappointed, upset, and devastated that she would do this to me instead of talking to me after months of intimacy. Also, I guess you can ghost in a relationship. After months of intimacy, he said, if I did something to make her upset, I would have appreciated her telling me about it. If she wanted to end things, I would have respected her decision. It only takes 10 seconds to text somebody back. And um, so I guess that answers my question earlier. You can ghost in a relationship. You can just be gone, be ghosted, bitch, be gone. But yeah, I guess with that situation, she could have, that's what we were saying earlier, she could have definitely just said, like, hey, whatever made her just not want to be a part of that situation anymore. She could have just said that, but she didn't. So now he's just sitting there wondering like what the fuck he did. It may affect him moving forward in his relationship with whoever and all this other stuff because he don't know what he did. She never told him. Still ghosted him. Probably ain't gonna never come back and he just ain't gonna never know. It says almost a year ago I made a post about how I got ghosted by this guy and it drove me crazy. A few months ago I had a hunch to search his name up on all his social media accounts, but they said they were all disappeared. I was wondering if he was still around and what he was doing. Maybe I could find him and get some closure that I thought that I needed. I found a missing persons report instead. He had gone missing a little over 2 months after he ghosted me in the first week of January. I was shocked, but I thought surely he was found by now. A few weeks ago, I had the hunch to search him up again. I see that there was a site that wasn't there before for whatever reason. A post by his church that he went to, it was for the recently deceased. It says that went up a week after. All this time he was dead. I can't imagine how heartbroken I would have been if I would have found out when it happened. How did it happen? I know he was involved in some shady things, so the possibilities are endless. Although what he did to me sucked and he didn't treat me well at the end, I know he has so many dreams and ambitions, and it's just quite a shock. I just thought this was crazy and thought that I would share. So, first off, that is completely crazy. She fucked up when she was looking for closure, and I know what kind of person that is. But I'm just saying, like, yeah, that is crazy because she just kept looking him up. So maybe they just wanted her, she just needed to know that he was dead. I don't know, but she would have probably kept looking him up and kept looking him up until she found him. I feel like That is just crazy that he ended up being dead. But he probably was into some bad things, like she said. And I ain't gonna say he got what he deserved, but ain't no telling what happened. But when it said like the craziest story that you even ever heard, that was the craziest story that I'd ever heard. Okay, this next one says she quit responding to my text and eventually texted me, said that she wanted me to stop reaching out to her and leave her alone. There was no real breakup or any real discussion. I have no idea what happened and I don't think I'll ever know. Everywhere I go, I'm reminded of her and why I can't get her off my mind. And I'm at my grandma's house for Christmas right now, and I'm stuck upstairs crying my eyes out. All of my relatives are downstairs, but I can't get past the anxiety to talk to anyone. Has anyone ever been ghosted by a long-term partner? How are you doing now? And how long did it take to overcome the pain? Then it says update 7 months later. The truth come out and she had another man. Also found out that she was cheating. Life goes on. So basically, I wonder how long term that partnership was because it never said how long they were together. But yeah, so it took him 7 months to get whatever closure that he was looking for. But Um, yeah, she was cheating on her husband probably or her boyfriend that she was with originally with that guy, and that guy, had that guy so far in love that he was at his people's house crying on Christmas. Okay, but yeah, so that is another crazy story of how somebody that got ghosted. It is the end of this episode. So if you made it to the end of the episode, I need you guys to drop one of those ghost emojis in the comments right now to let me and everyone else know that you made it to the end of the episode. Make sure that you guys like, comment the ghost emoji, and make sure that you are subscribed. Hit that notification button so you can get updates for whenever I post new episodes like this one. Again, our drink of the week is gone now, but it was a caramel pumpkin pie martini. It will have the recipe along with the video to where you guys can sip with me. But of course, make sure that you guys share this video, and I'll see you guys next time.